pleasure and the privilege of introducing, as we see in sports today, is a Justice Mudgal with us. So he did schooling at Modern School, Arakhamba Road, New Delhi. Honors in chemistry from Delhi University and LLB from Law Faculty University. He was an advocate in 1973, practiced in Supreme Court since 1998. He was a member, treasurer, and secretary of the Supreme Court legal in 1995. He conducted cases in civil law, constitutional law, labor law, and public interest litigation. He was a member of the National Legal Authority and Council, National Law Institute, Honorary Secretary Law Association India. He was appointed as a judge of the Court of Delhi on March 1998 and as Chief Justice of Punjab and Haryana High Court on 15 December 2009, and he retired on 4th January 2021. He was the member of the Court of Arbitration of Sports, CAS Geneva, for more than a decade. He is the author of the book titled Law and Sports in India by Justice Mudgal in December 2010 and the second edition in 2016. He has been appointed as a member of the AFC Governance Reform Task Force. He was appointed an independent advisor to the Lord Wolf Committee by ICC for Governance Review of International Cricket Council. He was the Deputy Chair of the Governance and Review Committee of FIFA's 2016-17 and was appointed Chairperson Governance and Review Committee of FIFA in 2017 and is presently serving as the Chairperson of the Governance Committee and Review. He has also served as Chairman of the Broadcasting Content Complaints Council of Indian Broadcasting Foundation. He is the Chairman of the Disciplinary Committee of Broadcast Audience Research Council of IBF. He was the Chairman of the Drafting Committee of the National Sports Development Bill 2018 and Sporting Frauds Bill 2013 and was Chairman of the Doping Committee instituted by the Ministry in 2011. He was also the Chairman of the committees which suggested proposed amendment to the Antique and Art Treasures. He constituted a one-man commission appointed by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs to probe the Walmart lobbying allegations and was the chairperson of the Committee of Experts to issue of certain under Democrat Act. He also had most of the IBROP committee appointed by the Supreme Court of India to investigate the allegations of match fixing in IPL cricket matches. He was the chairman of the committee for international sports. He was drafting for the national written articles in mainstream print media on current legal and sport problems like separation of powers, right to information, powers of the press council and the DRS system in cricket. He was sent by the External Affairs Ministry government as the advisor to the Maldivian government to inquire into change of regime in Maldives. So it's a real pleasure and privilege, sir, to have you, and the floor is yours.
Thank you for such a comprehensive biodata of mine. I'm sure everybody was bored to death, but thank you anyway. Okay. Now, you're all experts. Judges become an expert for the day when the case comes before them and they forget it. So I will not going to go into depth of sports management, sports law, which all of you know very well. I'm sure much better than me. So I'm going to speak generally about sports and 2 or 3 specific topics. One is how does sport interest inculcated in me? My parents belong to a middle class family. They're classical musicians. So sports had no entry in our house except the interest. But they sent me to a very good school, modern school, Delhi, where there were all sports facilities. Every sport was available, including swimming and all. And my mother had an important role in my becoming interested in sports. She was strict about movies, but always permitted me to go to all matches. So I watched test matches since the New Zealand first toured in India, right up to Botham series when Iron Botham came here. Every day, 5 days a week, and our school used to permit students to go without any problem of attendance if they had tickets for the test matches. In fact, they provided tickets for the test matches. So that was wonderful. The school gave me a great opportunity, and that developed my thing. I came to college. I used to swim in school. I came to college, swam for Delhi University water polo team. It doesn't show now because of gain of weight, but I did. Now, what I'd like to say is that it's, what is the importance of sports? The sports builds character, extremely important. It tells you how to lose gracefully. And this is a great lesson in life because you're bound to have setbacks in life as you grow older and come into life's troubles. But if you have been a sportsman, you have learned to lose, you'll be able to overcome such challenges. Then there are two aspects of sports law, really. One is the specialized aspect of anti-doping, the disciplinary panels, implementation of rules. The other is the general law which applies to sportsmen, which is contract, specific relief, intellectual property rights, media rights. And therefore, I would like to say one thing, that there are two or three issues I'd like to pick up on. One is WADA. You see, let me tell you, WADA needs a great reform. It needs to democratize itself. Look, they govern the entire world. Yet, most countries do not have a vote there when their elections take place. That's one. Secondly, I have problems with clauses like whereabouts clause. It is highly intrusive. If a government had introduced such a law, it would be struck down by court in no time, you know. And therefore, these are things which governments on a whole need to look into and democratize the WADA so that punishments are rationalized. Today they are too harsh. You know. Secondly, if clauses like whereabouts clause don't mean anything. No, if somebody is doped, even if he is not found at a place, next day you think he can remove it from his blood? No, it's not so. But the regulations are framed in this manner. Therefore, these need to be looked into. You know, in the IPL, we had made certain recommendations. There were senior players should be allowed involved with the team to demonstrate education. Instructions should be in local language. Today, we have players coming from small towns. Not all are conversant with English very well. Even if they're conversant, it's only a basic knowledge. Therefore, they must be given instructions in local language about things like integrity, approach by various people for doing a misdemeanor, and the major thing which government needs to do, and it will be a great benefit to them in terms of economy, is legalize the sport betting. Our committee recommended it, recommended by the LODA committee, the Law Commission recommended it, and the advantages are so many. Apart from the taxation, the staggering amount it will bring into the main fold. Secondly, in the gray market in betting, all the money goes into the black money goes. Part of it helps the underworld. And once we have betting which is legalized, then you will surely have a system by which suspicious betting can be tracked and collared, as many so many international federations now have such programs. Lastly, I would like to say that the career in sports, and Mr. Kulkarni's presentation was marvelous. I was absolutely flabbergasted by the kind of depth he had done. I've seen him bowl cricket, but I didn't know he could do such a wonderful job today. So I would really think that sports career, as is pointed out by him, is extremely important. Importance to achievement in sports is extremely important. Mr. Billy Moria pointed out certain things. I think we can take a lesson from them. But eventually, we have to focus on the government schools. I mean, modern school, Reliance school, of course, they have privileges. But I would say India would be a great country in sports if every government school had facilities as are available to schools of privilege. So with that, I would like to end my address, and please go on with your wonderful discussion. I'll still